Well, hello. My name is Daddy-O, and I need to find out something. Why are some drivers getting lost in the Uber math? I have gotten some comments here recently because I do the Mach E electric. I've gotten some comments here that are, I get this from time to time. I'll get drivers or people will send me a comment, and they break it all down into the numbers. All right. I'm going to talk about a comment that I've gotten here in the last couple of days. And I can't look, I'm going to explain to you why you should not get wrapped up in these numbers. All right. There's two numbers you need to worry about when you're doing Uber. All right. I'm going to talk about that a little bit here. But the question was more or less, and I'm not going to read it word for word. I'm just going to more or less let you know what the comment was about. The person broke down that Mach E costs, I mentioned in a video the other day, it cost me $11 more a day to have the Mach E versus the other gas that I've been using, all right, for all these years. So I made the comment that it was $11 more a day. So that's they broke it down to $77 a week. Okay, big deal. And then they went into how am I going to charge it, or how am I charging it, and breaking down the kilowatt hours, blah, 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 blah. All right. Anyway, and it went into this. For example, the driver doing 1,200 miles a week at 30 miles, 30 miles per gallon. I mean, this is how it got broke down. That's 200 a week in gas, blah. I get these kind of comments. And then at the very bottom, the person wants to know is, how many miles a week do you drive? What's your average charging cost per kilowatt hour? And the percentage of your charging versus fast charging versus level 2 charging. What the hell? Who cares about all that crap? All right, here's the two things you worry about. How much money did I make today? And how much money did I spend today? I could care less about any of the other stuff. I don't care how much kilowatt hours. I'm going to give you some kilowatt hours here in a second. I don't care how much it costs, blah, 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 blah. How much money did I go out and make today? That's what I want to know. How much is it going to cost me at the end of the day to charge my electric Mustang up? Let's talk about that. Let me get over to that number. Okay. Here's what's happened. Last night, I had this thing down in the 40% range, somewhere in the low 40s, somewhere when I was able to get out and go. I do a fast charge. All right. Now here, I brought it up so it could tell me how much it cost me last night. It took me a long time last night, an hour and 15 minutes. All right. There was a lot of people out there charging last night. It took me an hour and 15 minutes. I'm comfortable with an hour and 15 minutes. I have entertainment. I have a tablet. I can watch TV. I can do whatever I can do at the house. Anyway, hour and 15 minutes to charge. All right. It cost me a grand total of $22.03. If I had ran a gas car, down that far and put gas in it, I would have been at at least $45. You know, I was down to where I was well under a half a tank. I was down almost to a quarter of a tank of what gas would be, maybe somewhere in that range there. And at today's prices, it would have cost me $45 at least to have topped my vehicle off for the next day. It cost me $22 on a charger, a public charger. All right. Not a home charger where you can get a discount or whatever. You know, I did this on a public, the night before, the day before, I ran real hard in the morning. I ran real hard. I got me a ride out to where the chargers were so I could kind of top off for the evening run. Okay, the first charge I did yesterday on that charge was 35 minutes it took me. It cost me a grand total of $8.28. All right, that evening I went back out after I'd ran it to top it back off for the end of the night. It took me 58 minutes. All right. And it was a grand total of $17.30. I don't give a rat's ass, to put it that way, about anyone that wants to shoot down gas versus electric. Electric is cheaper. I don't care. In my area, my location, disclaimer here, it's cheaper. All right. I've done videos on here about how I feel for the guys that are still having to use gas. But I get comments like this from time to time of someone that just needs to break it down and do the math and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure there are drivers out there that do that kind of stuff, that are interested in their daily stuff. But when I say that this is what it's costing me, then they want to try to do the numbers for me. All right. And I appreciate that. Do the numbers for me. I don't care though, okay? Only two numbers I care about is how much I made today and how much is it costing me to fill just like a gas. How much did I make in the morning, or how much did I make today doing gas? Now, in the evening, I got to go put some gas in it. At night, I go out and put some electric in it, all right? Bottom line is, with me, while I have had this Mach E Mustang, it's been cheaper. So much cheaper than gas. All right. That's it. And I don't know why so many drivers, well, I not so many. I can't say that because a lot of us don't think about the details. All right. Let's find out exactly what it's costing me to the penny. No, go out and make some damn money. Go out and charge your vehicle up at the end of the night and go do it again the next day. Don't get wrapped up in all the hoopla. Well, I did. I got to say this. I went and looked at the commenter on this one here, and they have them a channel. All right. So I get that sometimes from people that have a somewhat Uber channel. They'll come and find my channel, and then they try to scrutinize and cut down find the numbers, blah, 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 just so that they can comment to more or less try to get some clicks over there. So I want to read their comment and say, oh, I like this person. Let's see. It happens out here. This is the YouTube world. All right. So it happens. All right. But don't, if you're doing a rental, try not to get wrapped up in the numbers. How much a week is this costing me? Just go out and make some money. You say, Daddy-o, is it just that simple? Well, no, it's not that simple. All right. Because I get comments from people that had the rental, that weren't making no money because of this reason and that reason, and they weren't working. And I've talked about this. I'll briefly say it. This is your business. All right. Treat it that way. All right. But I love my Mach E Mustang. All right. I wish I had done this months ago. All right. I really do, because this is a fun vehicle to drive. It's an interesting vehicle to drive. And I continuously, all the time, when people come up and they get in the vehicle for the first time, I've never rode in one of these. This is nice. Wow. You know, yesterday I was going to pick up some people, and I've had this happen a few times. They see on the app that says a Mustang's coming to get them. And they'll text me, we have 4 people. Can we all get in there? And I have to let them know it's the SUV Mustang. Okay. But yeah, a lot of people haven't seen these vehicles, so you get a lot of that kind of response off of this vehicle. Absolutely love it. I'll just say that one more time. I could care less about that little $11 a day extra I'm paying for the electric versus the gas, because this electric is saving me money when I'm doing Uber. It's saving me money. It's making me money. All right. Because the response I get from people, and as you can tell, Daddy-o will talk. And I've told you before, when people start talking about your car, and you start talking to them and you start showing them the little things and talking about, it kind of softens the door for you to get that 5-star and the tip. I've talked about this before. I know. But I have to laugh. I've gotten these before, and I've done videos on them from time to time. You get comments from people that just want to know all the details and the fine tuning. I want to know how many kilowatt hours you're running a week, or what it's costing you per kilowatt hour. How many miles a week are you driving? Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't know how many miles a day I drive. I don't keep track. I don't know how many miles a week I drive. I don't care. I'm going to run this baby until it stops, or they tell me to bring it back. And all I'm going to do is just keep topping it off every night. Go out and make as much money as I can. And in the night, I'll go out and I'll spend $22, $18, to top my vehicle off for the next day. And I will be happy without worrying about a damn mathematical detail. I don't care. It's just the way it is. I'm going to let you go with that. Daddy-o out for the day. You guys have a good afternoon, good evening. Comment. I love the comments. Have a good one, guys. Bye.